Hello and welcome back. Hope you're all having a great day, and we are here with some news. So this is a story that has been going round, so let's get into the details. So we've learned that the US government will appear in court next week to answer questions about Prince Harry's visa application. This was after a conservative think tank demanded that it be unsealed given his admission to drug use. The Department of Homeland Security will face off on June the 6th against the Heritage Foundation, which filed a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit earlier this month to compel the agency to release Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex's immigration records, arguing that they are, quote, of immense public interest, end quote. So far, the US government had refused to make his royal visa application public. Niall Gardiner, director of the Margaret Thatcher Center for Freedom at the Heritage Foundation, tweeted on Tuesday that the hearing would be in DC federal court and open to the press. He also touted the upcoming hearing as a very significant development, end quote. He also told the Telegraph, quote, "It significantly raises the stakes here. I think so far that the Biden administration has been stonewalling the freedom," end quote. Any foreign national seeking to obtain a US visa or permanent resident status is required to answer questions about their past drug use. Under the US immigration law, a visa applicant who is, quote, determined to be a drug abuser, end quote, is deemed inadmissible, although immigration officials are permitted to make exceptions. In his best-selling memoir, Prince Harry spoke as well as in multiple TV interviews, and he came clean about using certain substances, among which are marijuana, cocaine, and psychedelic mushrooms. The Heritage Foundation's complaint reads, quote, "Widespread and continuous media coverage has surfaced the question of whether the DHS properly admitted the Duke of Sussex in light of the fact that he has publicly admitted to the essential elements of a number of drug offenses in both the United States and abroad," end quote. The think tank also questioned whether the Duke of Sussex's immigration status in the US should be, quote, reconsidered in light of the revelations contained in his book. As we know, Harry and Meghan moved to the US in 2020 of March and bought a home in LA in Southern California after stepping back from being working members of the British royal family. This article says that sources close to Harry have previously said that he answered questions on his application seeking a US visa truthfully. The Heritage Foundation argued that it is in the public's best interest to know exactly what Prince Harry wrote in his application and how it was handled by the Biden administration. The think tank said in a statement on Tuesday, quote, "Did DHS in fact look the other way, play favorites, or fail to appropriately respond to any potential false statements by Prince Harry," end quote. So that's in essence that story. I've just covered those highlights for you. And as you can see in their complaint, they keep talking about the Biden administration. So now I'd like to ask those of you out here in your own countries, whether what anyone would write on their visa application status would meet the requirements of being, quote, of immense public interest to you. Just ask yourself, in your countries, when you've had foreign dignitaries or visitors or people just applying for residency or coming to visit your country as tourists, has it ever crossed your mind to sit down and ask about a public figure, what did they write on their visa application? So I think most of us would see that as being really not anyone's business, because I think everyone's going about their day, because I think people are basically doing their own thing and not spending time looking at what other people are up to. It just seems like such a tremendous waste of time and resources. But from what I'm getting here as I'm reading this article, they keep talking about Biden. So they have their angle that they're coming at this from. I don't think this same foundation has ever questioned other dignitaries or public figures visiting the US and demanded by a public inquiry through the Freedom of Information request that their applications be made public or be taken to trials so that individual's application could be reconsidered in quotes. So yes, this is something else at play here. And also we know that there are a couple of people who just tend to have it out for Harry and Meghan. And I do know that a lot of people, when, reading his story or listening to him talking about his substance abuse, people across the spectrum had a lot of very strong thoughts on that. And some people disagreeing with it and hoping that he would stay away from those types of substances. But taking it all the way to trying to uncover his visa application and what was therein, and trying to figure out how it was handled by the Biden administration. Also, by the way, when Harry and Meghan relocated to the US in March 2020, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't President Trump the president at that time? So wouldn't the government of that day have been a Trump presidency who would have handled the first papers for him to immigrate there in the first place? Someone let me know about that. So even if he was later approved for a prolonged type of visa as a public figure, this kind of action is so over the top and it reeks of having some type of agenda. And I think it's so sad how some people in the US waste so much time and public resources going after people just because of very weak reasons, because they do not like them. And of course the press, the ones who do not like Harry and Meghan, are all over this. They are salivating because, as you've seen, that it will be open to the press. So, and I think it's sad that some people would like to have Harry humiliated. And so let's see how that goes. Share your thoughts in the comment section. And by the way, I want to add here, Dr. Shola said something quite interesting on her social media concerning this. She put up a post about all the people who've been to the US. She said this, quote, "Staggering hypocrisy. Many Brits travel to the US on ESTA visa, green card. Some use drugs with no criminal convictions for possession, illegal use, distribution, same as Harry." So she asked, where's Niall Gardner's and Heritage Energy for visa applications of Brits and Tory drug users traveling to the US? And then she puts the list of the people there. I'll say allegedly to cover all my bases. But she goes on to say that it is the hatred for Harry and Meghan, according to her. And she also said ka-ching at the end of her post. So as always, let's pray for Harry and Meghan. We don't always have to agree with everything that they do, but you can definitely see an agenda here, even in the way, as we saw in the previous weeks, how some press chose to cover the incident that had happened in New York, where, some paparazzi were being very aggressive, and some of the press who do not like them just led off immediately by mocking Harry and Meghan. They didn't know the facts. So let's pray for this couple as June the 6th approaches. I think that Harry was truthful in his visa application, and there is a huge history of public figures being in the US, even full-time staying there, working there, actors, singers who have engaged in some type of substance abuse. And whatever your stance on Harry is, by the way, I personally do not think it's good for him to be taking those types of substances. I think that there's a better way. But all this is quite obviously an agenda. So let's pray for him, and let them also know, as they want to uncover Prince Harry's use of drugs in the past, then I guess they'll have to open up that Pandora's box for every royal who will ever visit the US. So yeah, let's see how that goes. So share your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, thank you for those who support this channel financially. Thank you to my Patreon, PayPal, and membership supporters. Your giving truly means so much. And I'd like to shout out a couple of you here by name. A special thank you to you, Denise Grayson. Thank you for your love, for your support, and your generosity. Thank you. Thank you. A special thank you as well to you, Lala. Thank you for being so truly open and giving so generously towards my work here. God bless you. And a special thank you as well to HRH Leo, who has chosen to support this channel through Patreon. I value and appreciate you, and I pray for God to bless you. Once again, thank you to all who support this channel financially. Thank you to all who like, comment, and share. And if you liked this one, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, let the algorithm know you enjoyed what you watched. And also keep it here for a video that I made a short while after the coronation and I teased here on this channel. It's a very interesting one and I hope to see you there. So click the notification bell to keep you updated when that video drops, and if you want to watch more, click the links at the cards and at the end screens and I will check you out there. Thank you all for watching and I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.